So I just took a flight down from San Francisco. I moved there after my MBA. I'm a product marketing manager for Photoshop on mobile. I did an internship there last year, and we launched the first ever Photoshop on iPhone app. And we just launched it on Android like a week ago, so yeah.
All right, so yeah, I'm really excited about your topic, which is XR adoption. So without further ado, let's hear Miranda.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. And big thank you to Neely and Karsten, Parma, and Nate for this amazing opportunity. So today I will dive into why XR has struggled to gain traction and with consumers specifically, and another strategic path that I'm proposing for reaching this mass adoption. Okay, so let's take a step back. In the early 50s, we saw the first computers come into the office. Suddenly, people were going from typewriters and pieces of paper to these large, clunky machines in the office. It wasn't until the 70s when Apple introduced the personal computer that we started seeing this in the house. When we look at the technologies that have shaped our daily lives, many of them did not start at home. They started in business, government, and in the workplace. Work gave these tools a purpose, a structure, and legitimacy. Only then did they become personal, portable, and more social. So now let's compare it to XR. When XR first broke into headlines, it was surrounded by sky-high expectations, the metaverse, holograms, immersive gaming, all of that. But the results didn't match the vision. Hardware was clunky, use cases felt thin, and the experience didn't quite justify the cost, as Karsten mentioned with the expensive headsets. Maybe we overpromised and the consumer felt let down. The lesson, we tried to launch XR as a consumer revolution before building the trust and utility that we see in the office. So here's an alternative. If XR first proves its value in enterprise, it can build the habits, familiarity, and trust needed to later succeed with consumers. This isn't new. This is the same journey the computer took, software like Microsoft, video conferencing, the list goes on. Workplaces made them essential, and from there, they became personal. So as mentioned, I'm Marina Galstyan. I'm a PMM at Adobe. Before this, I was the VP of Emerging Technology here at USC Marshall, and I graduated a month ago. Previously, I worked in advertising, so I know how to take products to consumers at WPP and IPG for products like Amazon, Match.com, and a few others. So to build this project, I consulted with program advisors, professors, founders. Some of them are here today. I attended some sessions South by Southwest and the NVIDIA conference, thanks to this great fellowship. And I synthesized a bunch of information, syndicated research into what my thoughts are. So this was the central purpose of my research, to explore how XR can move beyond novelty and truly integrate into daily life. And what emerged was, if XR technologies are first embedded in enterprise settings for tasks like training, collaboration, productivity, then they become more familiar, more valuable, and socially more accepted. In other words, B2B adoption becomes the on-ramp to B2C adoption. Just as we saw that with the smartphones and personal computers, work was the bridge, and for XR, I believe it'll be the same. So let's look at where this is already happening and where this is working. So for example, Accenture gave out 60,000 MetaQuests for employee onboarding. DHL improved warehouse efficiency by 25% using AR for vision picking. Boeing and Lockheed Martin use XR for aircraft assembly, speeding up production by 90% and eliminating errors. This was a common theme at NVIDIA with digital twins and manufacturing, so we see this already happening. In healthcare, VR-trained surgeons outperform peers by 200%, and AR is now FDA cleared for live surgeries. This isn't theoretical, this is operational, and we see XR delivering this measurable value in critical environments such as these. So this is my prediction. By 2030, over 65% of XR utility will be workplace driven. The workplace is the proving ground that will be the turning point for extended reality. So let's break down where XR is proving its value. On the consumer side, we see use cases like fashion try-ons, wayfinding, gaming, and fitness. These lean heavily on novelty, on social connectivity, and commerce, engaging, but maybe not always essential. On the enterprise side, it's a different story. XR is driving utility through remote work, training, and digital twins, tools that improve productivity, communication, and decision-making. Let's talk about what the ROI looks like, because we all care about ROI in business. Smarter training, faster training reduces time and increases retention. Smarter collaboration enables better teamwork across distance, remote work. We saw this during COVID. Rapid prototyping shortens development cycles. Safer operations reduce real-world risks. And lower cost means faster adoption at scale. When technology proves it can save money and time, companies pay attention, and so do investors. That's what XR is doing today. So this is the roadmap that I see for mass adoption from commercial to consumer. So how do we bridge this gap? First, I see enterprise validation. Where are we now? Accessible hardware and content. As Carson mentioned, they're getting cheaper, they're getting lighter, we're getting better devices. Workplace familiarity. Once you build this familiarity with these products, the software and the hardware, then you move over to crossover use cases like home planning, health, education. You take these devices home. Then you see this everyday integration where XR becomes second nature to you, just the way cell phones became second nature to us. This mirrors how many tech has moved from industry to mainstream. So in conclusion, what are the main takeaways? To go mainstream, XR must go to work. The workplace gives XR what it lacked in the consumer space: structure, purpose, and trust. And that trust is the foundation for everything else, including customer adoption, social acceptance, and habit formation. And for XR, it might be the only path forward. Thank you again to the Neely Center and everybody here for arranging this important conversation, and would love to continue talking to all of you. Thank you.